So the main reason for Shadrack Sibiya to be there was to go there and take the firearm that killed Senzo. See? Yes. And then the message arrived. Before Sibiya arrived there, the message was received by Kelly to say, please make sure the firearm is safe. Don't hand that firearm to the police or Vosloorus. Keep it until somebody is coming to fetch it. That somebody was Sibiya and came there with him.
Hey, tada! We are back with another video. The page, it is South African Late News. Yeah, this week Advocate Mnisi opened the case of Gadla Mncube, and what's came out clear to me is that Gadla Mncube understands very well Ukuthi, how did the police cook this case. How did Baloyi and Brigadier Gininda manage to put them in prison for a crime that they did not commit? What is more important to me is that he can speak clearly without any hesitation. But I would like you to listen to Gadla Mncube explaining how Leshabane showed the court ukuthi Gininda and Baloyi actually are the mastermind in this case. Just listen to this audio and then we'll talk about it.
All this, it's just clear that it's just a plot.
And umbuso uthi kuLeshabane akashintshe istatement ngoba sihearsay.
The state now said to Leshabane that he should change the statement since the statement is just hearsay.
Angasho ukuthi uZungu wezwa ngogwabini ukuthi uNtanzi noSibiya basolakala ekufeni kaSenzoveyiwe.
That he must not mention that Zungu heard from Gwabeni that Ntanzi and Sibiya are suspected in the matter.
Wathakathi wayekhona yena uZungu.
They said he should say that he himself Zungu was present.
Enathi eVosloorus ngelanga ngokwafa ngayo uSenzobeyiwe ngayo 26 October 2014.
That he was with us at Vosloorus on that day when Senzobeyiwe died on the 26th of October 2014.
Hostel eBasuthwini.
At the Basuthwini hostel.
So yonke lento mawuyibheka uyayibona ukuthi into ekhandiwe lehlalelwe phansi yakhandwa ukuthi lento lena vele kunabantu kumele bayofela leliyaqala abaphenduka uJesu Kristu.
Looking at all this, one can clearly see that this is just a plot. There are people that have been marked to take responsibility of this matter, just like Jesus Christ.
General Shabane uthi waphuma ecasuke kakhulu ema-ofisini ka-Advocate Baloyi.
General Shabane mentioned that when he left Baloyi's office, he was very irritated.
Ngoba bemphoqa ukuthi enze into ngesiyona befuna ukuthi ashintshe ubufakazi kube ngenye indlela.
Because they were forcing him to do something that is not correct, to change the evidence to something that is not.
Wazwa kubeka ukuthi ngoba yena ugeneral nje la eSouth Africa. What about umuntu ongelutho? Ma ubekwazi ukuthi benze kanje izinto ezifana nalezo kumuntu ongangayi esikhundleni.
And he further mentioned that if they can do this to him as a general, what more of just a lay person or just a normal person?
So lento ibonala ngosobala ukuthi lento lena ekhulunywe yibo bonke laba abantu ogwabini la ukuthi kwakhulwa indaba zestatment ibona kuthiwa bazofaka izinto abangayazi la babe phoqwa vele yonke into lena ikhandi ukuthi kahle kahle gcine kwenzakalani kuboshwa thina.
Indeed, Gadla Mncube is spot on there to mention the fact that most of these witnesses that came to court and exposed Gininda and the police ukuthi they coerced them to sign statements that implicated these guys. And make reference to the fact that Leshabane told the court that if Brigadier Gininda and Baloyi can try and force a general to change his own statement, then what chance does a layman stand against these rogue police officers? No chance. So if Gininda and others come to you and say this and say that and implicate these guys, most people in this country would do it because they are scared of the police officers, which is why these guys are before court. They're in court because of false evidence that was obtained illegally. Leshabane says that when he left Baloyi's office, Baloyi was very angry because he refused to change his statement. The whole general of the police services told the court that Baloyi and Gininda wanted him to change his statement so that it is not hearsay evidence. these witnesses that were part of the state refused to change their statement, thereby forcing Baloyi to not call them. He made reference to Kwabeni. Remember Kwabeni? We were told by Constable Zungu that he was the host in Fosoras on the 26th of October 2014 when these 5 men before court came to his hostel and visited him, ate meat, drank alcohol and all that sort of stuff. But when Kwabeni came to court, he explained what really happened, and he exposed the lies by Advocate Baloyi and Gininda. Kwabeni told the court that at night when he was sleeping, the police arrived and then tried to plant a gun under his bed, and he made a specific name. He referenced a specific name of which was Maphumulo. Maphumulo is the one that tried to plant a gun under his bed so that they can say, Kwabeni, we found a gun under your bed, so we're going to charge you if you do not sign the statement that implicates accused 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and so on. But because Kwabeni was a brave man, he refused to change his statement or to comply with Baloyi during consultation, and then that forced Baloyi ukuthi angambizi ukuzofakaza enkantolo. So you can see small pieces of the puzzle. Okay, how was this case created? It was created based on lies, fabrication, and forcing people to change their statement. Remember, Ule Shabane told the court ukuthi he refused to change his own statement. A whole general in the SA police services accusing Brigadier Gininda of such atrocity. So you can see that if you are a man in the street, the police can just create evidence and then force people to speak against you, and then your case is done. You go to prison for life or something that you didn't do. But I would like you to listen to more what Gadla had to say.
The one that was not there.
Ibhamu ngoba nje umuntu bachaza bona ukuthi isibhamu esinesondo ingoba babebone isibhamu esinesondo.
Because they explained this particular firearm to have a wheel, my lord, it means that they saw a firearm that has a wheel.
Abakwazi laba abantu uma uyibheka kahle lento ukuthi abantu abangaya endlini ukuthi bonke omunye ngathi revolve, omunye athi yena isondo, omunye athi 38, yabo zonke lezi zinto lezi amaphoyisa lawa afikile alandelayo athi lezi zinto ziyisibhamu sesondo, kodwa bona bethi ilokuzana ipistol lelegcile lilethwa la ecourt. Into embili ehlukene lezi zabona abantu abasendlini lezi nento elethwa amaphoyisa la ecourt.
My lord, the people who were in the house spoke of they saw a firearm with a wheel, it's a 38 and a revolver, and the police officers now come to court and say something different. They say it's a pistol, different from what those who were in the house mentioned.
Now that you're mentioning that the people who were in the house spoke of different names. They spoke of a revolver, they spoke of a 38, and they spoke of a firearm with a wheel. Now we have read the statement when we started to engage with you. We've gone through the statement. I think the first statement that I read was that of Mr. Longwe-Twala. Do you still remember that?
Manje ke khona udaba ke olethayo ke uyachaza ukuthi ke labantu labo basendlini baye baphuma ke nabo ke ngesibhamu ngohlwana ke bathe abanye bathi revolver, abanye bathi ke linesondo, abanye bathi 38. Kodwa sike sakufundela statement ke la enkantolo ke lesi soqala ke senzwa ke uyena ke uLongwe-Twala. Usakhumbula lokho?
Yebo ngiyakhumbula.
Yes.
And Longwe-Twala described this firearm as a 38, I don't know, it's a 38 firearm. And the experts who came here also attested to the fact that a 38 firearm, or a 3.8 or a 0.38, no. A 3.8 or a 0.38 refers to a revolver.
Absolutely. Ukala Mncube, they're speaking about the gun evidence that was brought before court. The fact that witnesses in the house said that the gun that shot Senzo had a wheel, but the gun that is before court is a 9mm, and we all know that a 9mm does not have a wheel. A 9mm operator is just a plain gun, whereas a revolver in a sound. And Umnisi went on to mention the statement of Ulongotwala, where Ulongotwala described the gun that shot Senzo Meyiwa as a 38 special. And I believe that is why Advocate Baloyi did not call Ulongotwala, because Ulongotwala was going to destroy the state case, because he was going to contradict furthermore Umangena who says a gun that was used to shoot Meyiwa is 9mm. So I'm glad that Mrs. at the end he said he will call Ulong, he'll subpoena Ulongotwala to come and testify before court, because the state is hiding Ulongotwala since they know that Ulongotwala is going to bury their case. Remember that also Ulongotwala is also implicated in this case because of such statements that were contained in the docket. Remember, in the docket, there's a statement by Umlungisi Hlophe, who told abaphenyi becala ukuthi he received a phone call from Utumela Madlala after Senzo was shot, and he told him that Senzo has been shot by mistake at Tuchula Ulongotwala ngephutha. He said Senzo was shot while Senzo was trying to separate the fight between Uzandi and Ulongotwala. So if Umnisi can bring us Ulongotwala in court, we're going to have so much clarity about what transpired on the day when Senzo Meyiwa was shot. And Ulongotwala will also get a chance to clear his name, because his name has been dragged through the mud because of Baloyi. If Baloyi just brought Ulongotwala to come, so that long work, maybe he'll give us an explanation to say, no, this is what happened on the day when Senzo was shot. Remember that also after Senzo was shot, we were told that Ulongotwala ran out the house and the shooters did not shoot Ulongotwala, did not run after Ulongotwala. So now I'm asking myself, what type of Inkabis would leave a witness to run out and just leave a witness who's going to testify and implicate them? I doubt that such thing occurred, because if these were Inkabis that came to the house, they would have shot Ulongwe and unalived him. So I believe that there were no intruders in that house. But calling Ulongwe would clarify many aspects in this case which are confusing to the state. But Ubaloyi fit longer because he can see that he will bury his case. And you must also remember that Ulongotwala is not the only one that said the gun had a wheel. I think Uzandi as well, and one statement that was deposed by Umakeli Khumalo and so on. And Umakeli Khumalo, we know that she was also not called because she was going to contradict some of these state witnesses, and then the case Kabaloyi would therefore collapse into tatters, and then these guys would be acquitted. But I'm glad that Ukata Mncube is able to speak very, very clearly and able to explain how about this contradiction affects his case and so on. But Baloyi ignored those contradictions and went ahead and charged them for the crime that they did not commit. So I'm hoping that the state will respond to Gadla, but I'm sure Usbanda will come up with some nonsense to defend the story about the revolver. But this one here, you cannot defend it. You cannot spin it, because abantu baseNgilibati, the gun that shot Senzo had a wheel. If it had a wheel, it's a revolver. Then it's not Gadla Mncube's gun. So if it's not Gadla Mncube's gun, it means Gadla is not the shooter of Meyiwa. You must also remember that the telephone records of Gadla Mncube shows that he was not at the crime scene. At about 7 to 8, Gadla Mncube's cell phone pinged around Johannesburg CBD, which is far away from Efoslo Rust, meaning that Gadla Mncube was not in Foslo. He was in Johannesburg CBD. The other important thing that Gadla Mncube mentioned in court was the fact that Ukeninda and Makgola spoke about a mastermind. He referenced the fact that Brigadier Keninda had a J50 warrant of arrest for Kelly Khumalo, but she was not arrested. To him, that is a travesty of justice, because if a mastermind is not brought before court, then it shows that the state has no case. A mastermind should in actual fact be accused number one, because she or he is the one that organized the shooting and analyzing Senzo Meyiwa. So if you don't bring a mastermind, then the case is not solved, because the roots of all the evil is not brought before court. So to him, that it shows that the state cooked the case against them only because they wanted to just solve a case. If Kelly Khumalo was indeed the mastermind, then she was going to be charged. But listen to Kwata Mncube explaining himself how he feels hard done by the South African justice system, which is corrupt and rotten to the core. But listen.
Enokunye mina okungimangaza kakhulu ukuthi abantu ababesendlini babalela ko6 kodwa kulethwa abantu abathathu.
And another thing, my lord, that surprises me is that the people that were in the house, they were said to be around 6, but only 3 were brought.
La enkantolo uGininda ngithi nomkhulu balethe igama lokuthi kukhona umuntu abathi mastermind.
Here in court, Gininda and Mukhula gave a picture that there was somebody else whom they called the mastermind.
Lafunwe igama bagcina bathi uKelly Khumalo lo muntu.
Then the mention of a name was asked, or it was pressed, and then they ended up saying that person is Kelly Khumalo.
Bathi wayithume thina nabafowethu la.
They said, my lord, she had requested or asked us and my co-accused to go and unalive Senzo.
Kodwa la court akekho Kelly Khumalo.
But here in court, Kelly Khumalo is not here.
Ngicabanga ukuthi mina umuntu obulele othuma abantu ukuthi beyobulala umuntu. Ngicabanga ukuthi ngokwenkantolo noma ngokomthetho uyena umuntu osuke efuneka kakhulu lo.
I believe, my lord, that if there is a mastermind who has masterminded the killing of somebody, according to the law or according to the court, that person is important and he needs to come before the court.
Ngoba ngicabanga ukuthi umuntu engasuka ubulala umuntu engamthumanga lo muntu lo.
Because I don't think somebody can just go and kill somebody when he was or she was not sent.
Njobo uma kuthiwa umuntu ukuthengile ukuthi uyobulala umuntu, kusho ukuthi uye wenza ukuthi uzibulale, ubungeke ubulala kube ngakuthenganga.
Because if somebody has paid you to go and kill someone, you would not have gone to kill that person if you were not sent to go and kill the person.
Angisho ukuthi uKelly Khumalo ubulele uSenzo Meyiwa.
I am not by any way saying that Kelly Khumalo killed Senzo Meyiwa.
But ngikhuluma ngenkulumo la ecourt ukuthi uKelly Khumalo uye wathuma izinkaba ukuthi zobulala uSenzo Meyiwa.
But I am just referring or quoting what was said here in court, that Kelly Khumalo is the one that hired the hitman to go and unalive Senzo.
Incwadi khona la ivezile uGininda wathi ena wayibhala ukuthi beboshwa uKelly Khumalo.
There is a document that Brigadier Gininda said that he wrote that Kelly Khumalo should also be arrested.
Leyancwadi ngandlela ebhalwe ngakhona mayifundwa la ecourt. Kushuthi uyabona ukuthi nomuntu engafikela kuye le NPA ngafika ibona ukuthi ayayilo akaboshwe namhlanje.
Because the way that document was written, if it were to reach the NPA, it was going to be an emergency arrest, that person should be arrested as in today.
Kodwa ngandlela ongakhona uGininda uthi NPA ayikwazanga ukuthi isayine leyo ncwadi noma approve leyo ncwadi ukuthi aboshwe.
Gininda now said to the court that the NPA could not sign or approve the arrest.
Mina ngokwami mina iNPA yase South Africa ngiyibona ngifele kakhulu mina.
According to myself, my lord, I feel the South African NPA has failed me drastically.
And NPA ngicabanga ukuthi ngoba kuthiwa nje abombuso bona abantu okumele ukuthi benze isiqiniseko sokuthi into yenzeka ngeqiniso.
And NPA is a state. They are the ones who are supposed to make sure that everything is done in order and in truth.
But kubhlungu ukuthi bona bese bejebo nabengabi nalo iqiniso.
It is said that they themselves are not honest.
Ngoba mawuzothi akuboshwe inkabe ibulala umuntu. Kodwa ngapha umuntu othuma inkabe uthi ziyombulala uthi wena akangaboshwa. Lokho kahle kahle kukhombisa ukuthi wena kahle kahle usathi akuhanjwe kuyobulawa abanye abantu.
Because if you say there were hitmen that were hired to go and kill someone, and then on the other side you don't arrest the person who had actually got those hitmen. You are actually, as an NPA, you are actually saying they should continue and go and kill more people.
Ngoba umuntu othengile usazokwazi ukuthenga omunye umuntu uthi awubulala futhi.
Because the person that hired the hitmen will be able to get other people and hire them to go and kill others also.
So mina ngibona kungekho ubulungiswa mnahle kahle ku-NPA yase South Africa.